What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 15th day of October, and here we are sitting at about $0.00467 right now, 9 hours and 53 minutes left in the day. A bit of a neutral day so far. We haven't really moved up or down. We're just chilling here. However, yesterday was a nice recovery, right? 12% to the upside. Lovely to see. I do believe that we have more growth to come, but first we might find some turbulence. I want to look at the short-term stuff, see what we're doing. I mean, are we really ready right now to move higher? I want to find that out. So if that sounds good to you, again, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. All right, here we are, looking at the 1 hour time frame here. I have to admit, things look pretty good, right? Sideways consolidation phase. Zebec is one of the few cryptos that after the aftermath that took place on the 10th here, right? You had this sideways phase and you've actually broken out to the upside. Most cryptos are still in their sideways phases or upward sloping channels. I guess drawing it like that, you kind of are as well. But it just looks like you had a phase of consolidation here or accumulation and you've broken out of it. That's what it looks like to me. Right now, what it looks like is you've got a bit of a bull flag going on or some kind of bullish phase of consolidation. We know it's bullish because it's sitting on top of a nice bullish move. And on top of that, you're finding support at prior resistance here and prior support as well. So you're at a key area for support. You made a nice move up and in a timely fashion as well. I want to look at this on Bybit, something with some volume on it. No volume. There we go. There's the volume. Yeah, so you moved up with some decent volume. Volume has tapered off, but the fact that it's tapered off doesn't concern me. Typically, when you're consolidating, your volume will taper off. And it's when it gets to the low points that you expect to break out one way or the other. We're looking for an upside breakout, clearly. Okay, so looking at this here on the 1 hour time frame, the RSI is bouncing off the 60 area, right? You're finding some support here. You got overbought, finding support in this area. Overbought over here, no oversold either of these times. We'd love to see it. You could go lower. Okay, so first and foremost, what I will say is you could go lower and you'd still be fine. So even if Zebec, you're watching this video and it's at 0045 or even below these lows here and we're down at 0044, it's still fine. Okay, it's still fine. Likely we are going to go back to the overbought zone. That's my assumption. Stochastics are here bouncing off the 50 perhaps. That's also a good look there. And the MACD, it is crossed red, but I don't really care. Overall, it looks bullish, and it's the 1 hour time frame, so it's not that significant. I do think you'll continue moving higher, and if you do, if we're right in that assumption, you might see a move that is similar to the move that brought you up here, which could take you as high as 0055, 0057, somewhere in that area there might be to be expected, okay? That's the expectation here. 4 hour time frame at the moment, also looking productive, okay? Also looking very productive. You had lower highs and lower lows, but you did something different here. You actually broke out of your range, okay? Living above the 50 now. What we're looking for is a reading in the overbought zone. We want to get that. And being on the 4 hour time frame here, that could imply, you know, by the end of today, maybe sometime tomorrow, but certainly between now and then, I think would be the appropriate window of opportunity to get into the overbought zone. If we don't do it between today or tomorrow, then we might instead, you know, if we're holding up here, we might pull back down, get a higher low, continue this trend here, higher lows, higher highs, and then perhaps the next day, Friday, we can attempt getting into the overbought zone. But looking at the 1 hour, I kind of have a feeling that we're going to see this happen today. We're probably going to be breaking out and moving up to these 005 targets and beyond. That'd be my expectation. MACD looks like it's crossing above the zero. Stochastics look bullish. I'm assuming that we get some continuation to the upside promptly, okay? Looking at this on the daily time frame now, we take a high here to a low here. Overall, you've been consolidating in this range, slowly but surely finding higher lows, right? Low here, higher low here, a little bit of a, you know, whatever. We could call this a lower low, but I think it's fake price action. I wouldn't count it. Really, you've just been holding up this area quite well, and you're ready to go, right? You're in this kind of horizontal channel, and you're ready to go higher. When you do move higher, you know, typically when you're below the golden ratio, you do expect to stop at the 786, 886, but you've already found resistance here. So I think what's going to happen is we see this thing move all the way up to new all-time highs in a very, very spectacular fashion. I think that over the coming days, over the coming week, we should see ZBCN approaching a 1 cent price target and beyond. So here you are, not even at a half cent, with 1 cent being in the discussion and beyond. Okay, so by the end of this month of October, I truly wouldn't be surprised at all if ZBCN Zebec was at a 1 cent to 1.4 cent price or higher, but I think those higher prices will probably be reserved for sometime in November at this point. Let's talk about what we're talking about here. Okay, so we're talking about the price moving up to this area by the end of the month. Okay, something in this kind of fashion here. We'll delete the Fibonacci extensions and all that stuff, delete all the noise, and then we'll zoom out. What we're talking about is a move, right, from an accumulative phase here, this move that resulted in a consolidation phase here, and we're about to break out. This is not the stopping point. This is just a stop on the way to higher prices, right? You understand? This is just the beginning. A move like this does not constitute a move like this. This is too small. That's small potatoes. We are likely going to see something that's much more elongated than that, right? Going to 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, more cents, whatever. I was Dr. Seuss for a second there. 3 cents, 4 cents, more cents. How do you know? Anyways, 0.0046 right now, not even a half cent. And we're talking about multiple cents as we continue to grow. Okay? Typically, and again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but typically, you could expect to see somewhat of a wave, or what's the word I want to look for? A series of movements upward. I don't know. Defined in Elliott wave theory, this might be an impulsive wave count where we see a 1 wave up, a 2 wave to consolidate, a 3 wave. The 3rd wave would be another impulsive move. 4th wave would be a consolidation phase, and then the 5th wave would be our final move up to end the cycle. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm really hoping that we see the characteristics of a 3rd wave come out here, and the same thing, I hope that we see characteristics of a 4th wave afterwards as the consolidation phase, because if we do, we will confidently be able to know that the next wave, the 5th wave, will be the last wave, that we likely will top off at that point, that the all-time high is there. And I'm anticipating that that'll be sometime in April, May, or even June of 2026, but it could be March, you never know. Overall, anticipating that we are about to break out of this range, and if I'm being honest, just looking at the short-term charts and looking at the indicators, it makes a lot of sense that we are going to see new all-time highs by the end of this month. And we're probably going to be breaking out of this range overall, this little wedge, this triangle here. We're going to be breaking out of this, I would think, over the coming days, if not certainly by the end of next week, within the next week or week and a half at the most, okay? So that's some good stuff to think about there, you guys. I don't really think I have anything else that I want to talk about. Again, we can go over all these indications here from a high to a low, all these levels, right? We're paying attention to 1.4 cents to 1 cent, that zone there. Once you break above 1.4 cents, we're thinking 2 cents to 4.4 cents. Once we break 4.4 cents, we're thinking 6 cents to 7.7 cents. And once we break that, 10 cents and beyond, 13 cents, 42 cents, whatever. I think that 50 cents is probably the all-time high that we could expect by the end of this cycle. Let's see, right? Because I'm trying to do my math here. You could see more than that. I don't think that we see $1 by the end of this cycle. I do think you could get above 50 cents. I just don't think that we get to $1. Yes. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, or if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.